Welcome to the Anti Optimist Therapist Podcast, where optimism and realism coexist. I'm April, a therapist who believes growth comes not from denying suffering, but from making meaning of it. Here we explore how to navigate anxiety, ambition, and adversity with both compassion and honesty. Many nights, right before bed, my daughter will pull out one of her favorite books for me to read to her. The beloved book I dread the most is Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Many know it. She loves it. I think it's weird. We've read it so many times I could recite it in my sleep. I can predict her giggles before they happen. I know which page she's going to turn slowly because she likes the picture, and I know which ones she'll flip past in a hurry. And still, she wants it again. Some nights my mind offers shortcuts. Pick a different one. Just skip tonight. She needs to get to bed on time. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm tempted. It's been a long day, I'm tired, there's a sink full of dishes waiting downstairs, isn't there always? But I don't skip, because I value that time with her, because I value her, because I value reading, and I want her to love it, not just as a skill, but as a doorway into whole other worlds. A stress relief mechanism and a way to learn. So we read, not because it's efficient, not because it's new, but because I choose to. That is what committed action looks like in real life, doing what matters because it matters, even if there's no applause, no measurable result, and no guarantee that you'll feel like it. And I've learned this lesson the hard way through the days I didn't act. I've had mornings when I told myself I'd exercise later. Haven't we all? Then later it turned into after work, which turned into after dinner, which turned into tomorrow. On those days, it's not that I skipped a workout. It's that I skipped the chance to live a value I claim is important to me, my health. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Each time I make that choice, it's not neutral. It's a little erosion of trust in my own word. When I say I value health, but I don't make time for it, something inside of me notices. It's like making a promise to yourself and quietly breaking it. In the book A Liberated Mind, Stephen Hayes writes, "Do what matters because it matters, not to fix or prove anything." That's harder than it sounds in a culture that's built on performance. We're trained to explain ourselves. This makes me money. This makes me more productive. This will make other people proud. But what about the choices that only make you proud? The ones that no one sees, no one measures, and no one praises? What if worth it didn't mean noticeable? What if it just meant aligned? Sometimes for me, that's business. Showing up online when it doesn't feel natural to me at all. Posting something that might get 3 likes, talking to a camera when my mind says, "This is silly, you're not the influencer type." I still feel that resistance. It still makes me not want to post and not have an online presence, but I do it anyway because I want to reach the people who need what I have to offer. Because my value isn't about being an influencer, it's about helping. And I can't help people if I hide. I have stacks of books all over my house, on my desk, by my bed, anywhere that you find me frequently sitting. They're not all organized. They're not all practical. Some are about psychology, some about finance, some about history or philosophy, and some are just fiction for the pure fun of it. And here's the ridiculous part. Sometimes I end up with the same book 3 times. The Kindle version, the audiobook, and the paper copy. Not because I forgot I bought it, but because I want to be able to read it anywhere. In bed, in the car, at my desk. I jump between them constantly. I'll read a chapter of a heavy nonfiction book, then switch to a short story, then dive into something completely random. Once, someone asked me a horrifying question. Why would you want to read so many books when you could just watch a YouTube video? I felt horrified by that question because for me, it's not about efficiency. It's not about consuming the fastest content or mining for usable facts. It's about the act of reading itself. It's about getting lost in someone else's mind. It's about the feel of holding a book, the slow turning of a page, the way a sentence can catch you off guard and follow you around for days. And I don't need to justify that to anyone. I read because I choose to. Our minds will always have objections. It will say, this won't make a difference. You're not ready. What's the point? And if you wait for your mind's permission, you'll wait forever. Nietzsche knew this. He used to walk for hours every day, sometimes 8 or 9 at a time, through forests, across fields, past small towns. Not to check a step count. I don't think he had a Fitbit back then. Not to multitask with a podcast, but because it was how he did his deepest thinking. No one was live tweeting his walks. No one was applauding at the finish line, but for him, walking was a chosen ritual, a commitment to his own mind and values. Benjamin Franklin had his own strange ritual. He called it air baths. He'd sit completely naked by an open window each morning, letting the breeze wash over him. He believed it refreshed him for the day ahead. Plenty of people thought he was eccentric, but he didn't do it for their approval. He did it because it mattered to him. Sometimes values-driven action looks weird from the outside. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to anyone else, and that's okay. It's not for them. I think about David Goggins with this too. The man did 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours to break a world record. What? He failed multiple times before he finally succeeded, had injuries, exhaustion, and pain. Can you imagine how torn up that guy's hands would have been? Ugh. Or how noodly his arms would have felt afterward? I'm not in for that kind of punishment. But he didn't keep going because it was comfortable or smart in a traditional sense. He kept going because he wanted to find the edge of what he could endure, not for attention, but for his own identity. It was his way of saying to himself, this is who I choose to be. So, I want you to try this. Pick one thing today, something small but important to you. Read the book to your kid, even if you're tired. Go for the walk, even if it's short. Hit publish, even if it's imperfect. And when your mind starts explaining why you shouldn't, you can simply say, I'm doing this because I choose to. Then do it. So just a final thought. Values don't require a reason. They require a commitment. The point isn't to feel ready or look impressive. The point is to live the kind of life you actually want, one choice at a time. You don't need a green light, you don't need permission, and you don't need to prove it to anyone. The reason is simple. I choose to. Thanks for listening to the Anti Optimist Therapist Podcast. Remember, optimism isn't pretending, and realism isn't hopelessness. It's about holding both. If you're ready to take this work deeper and you live in Utah, my 12-week group program, The Fulfillment Formula, is where we do it together. It's designed for high-achieving women who want to move beyond anxiety and achievement chasing into something more meaningful. You can learn more on my website, theantioptimisttherapist.com. Until next time, take care and keep moving towards what matters most.